Firstly, thank you for opportunity to join this event, and thank you for Mr. Abdullah. He joined me. Let me introduce myself first. My name is Muhammad Saad. I am senior cloud consultant at Microsoft. I am 14 years experience in an IT career and digital transformation, cloud solutions. And today we're gonna discuss designing and that is disaster recovery strategy from Azure perspective, and also we recover try to high availability. Actually, today it's not like a demo, and we'll go step by step for a demo. It's just we need to just focus with how to, if you are engaged with a project related to Azure Resilience, you have to mitigate this one with your team and participate with the customer and to build the better for this one. You can reach me also at LinkedIn for my page here, and also in my YouTube channel. I have a lot of videos related to Azure. It's called Platform Channel. So let me jump on the first. Just please. So let me talk about what is resilience. If you talk about resilience, it's public statement related to cover, high availability, and disaster recovery and backup. So if you comprehensive set of native business continuity solution and provide availability and disaster recovery and backup to protect your mission critical application and data. So in here's topic, we have to talk about three things for high availability and disaster recovery and backup as well. So what is a high availability? Availability to maintain acceptable continuous performant temporary failures in service hardware data centers or in your data center, even in premise, even in Azure data centers. So how to availability your applications or VMs through that. For disaster recovery, how to protect against for loss entire data, religion through synchronizations of data, using, if you talk about here, about Azure Site Recovery, and also using GRS. So when we coming, we will talk about GRS and LRS and ZoneRS. And also for a backup, we have to also think about backup replications for virtual machines and data, and for more regions using Azure Backup. So if you engage with a project with customer, and it's not matter for how to implement disaster recovery, because if you talk about disaster recovery implementation, it's you can find it step by step. But the first stage, it's very important to discuss with customer why we care about design better, what is, it is for you before yeah, before you explain the customer. For this one, you have to go through for your design you implemented or like that. So for design better the solution for common software or your data problems, the solutions that have emerged for years proven the customer your common problem or your common solution you have be to solve it to achieve the customer. For design pattern, you have a specific name for the, يعني it's like for most of customers is sometimes using a retry pattern for his design. For design pattern also, it's are not foolproof for architecture design with all details. Come again? Okay. So let me go through for design pattern for details and how to build your software and data to receive and achieve the customer what he wanted for implementations. So when we talk about why is the desert better design pattern, we have to build it that. It's the first initial discussion with CTO and I engage with all with most of customers. He think about three things. For identity solution, it's like CAFTIS, on inspired design thinking, or the best practice for better software. So here we have most of questions you have to ask it during your meeting with customer, especially with your team members to be ready in presentation or with customer in the meeting. So why is the design pattern useful? It's for customers. We not go through with design, we not go through with architect without to have to prepare that. So most of design pattern, it's to be documented. If you work with a software company and to engage with architect, you have to some software it's already have the pattern, but you have to go through and try to find achieve the software and from architecture perspective to achieve the customer its design and high availability and backup and this recovery. So for inspired design thinking, design patterns can inspire you to design your applications. You are not always specifically for looking for a solution up to problem. You might be not even realize for something could be a problem, not use the solution for the design pattern. Also, for design pattern, are the result of years of thinking experience. These are received template and best practice resolution to common a problem. Not just benefits for all experience. What you want to going for you want going from the document. We jump here for why we use it for five parts of the disaster recovery plan. So, if you already engage with disaster recovery plan, you might find some concept. You have to talk about it for RPO, RTO, personal regulatory constraints, and the critical data. So for RPO, it's define how much data you are willing to lose, and you can give a higher priority for saving your cost critical data while being willing the most important data, such as maybe picture it's not important, or you have to be to talk with customer was it. So for RTO as well, it's how long you are willing to be without your data. Depends on your business. You might decide that you can lose up to 2 hours of your business applications. So because in this, when you architect that, it's very important to care about that, and you will coming through the next slides. For the personal, it's a common questions you have to ask it for customers. Who should get their data back personal? Who is supported the plan? Do you have a backup personal as well as the backup technology? It's very important. And if your plan documented for human interventions, so maybe access and you can call him anytime and he can available. So for regulation constraints, also you have to be asked customers and you have to be presented for the business subject related restriction compliance, and we have a team, some of company have a team for all of the disaster recovery plan, and also for critical data, for which data is critical for customer and for your business, because it's different between bank sector or oil gas company or government. It's what else. So let's go there here. As you see the architecture, we have on-premise and we have on cloud. We're using here traffic managers and DNS routing. And we have, for example, ISVM and SQL Server, and you see here site recovery and blob storage. Also, we have, of course, virtual network. So for cloud solution can help you find a good balance between cost and the complexity to fill the requirement you have outlined in your plan. Here for, as you see, for Azure Site Recovery, you can easily create a disaster recovery. So if you go to the portal, you have created that by portal. Uh, if you talk about if your partners and you have for a small or and business medium or business company, you can protect all of IT measure system and expensively by implementing disaster recovery to cloud using Azure Site Recovery. Also, if you site recovery can help you to meet your RTO and RPO. So this is why we talk and about what does mean RTO and PR2 for requirements. So we can replicate between Azure regions, as you see in here in the slide, between Azure region to other regions or on-premise to another region. Also, for site recovery, provide continuous replication for Azure VM, and also if you have VMware, and you can affect it for latency and frequency. Do you hear me?
Yeah, I think your slides are not moving. Are you on still one slide?
No, as now in slide 4. What slide you see?
Yeah, now it's, but now it's again goes to find a solution that fit your disaster.
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay, fine. Okay.
For find solution to fit your disaster recovery. Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay. So,
Just try to explain the architecture for site
sure.
recovery and traffic managers. I'm still here. Okay, can I continue?
Yeah, yeah. Go ahead.
Okay. So as we see is here in the architecture, we have you can use site recovery on premise or between site to site. So finally, to finish the slide, the site recovery is integrated with Azure for simply application network management, included reserved IP or addressing configuration, load balance, as you see here in this slide for traffic manager and DNS routing. So we reach it for a good slide, which I like it actually. For scenario, you have to when you think about your solutions in with a customer. So now we have this for single VM, for local redundancy, for zonal redundancy or regional redundancy. So most of us, I think, if you meet this case. So for single VM, to improve the availability for single VM by using premium ultra disk for to quality availability SLA. So here it's 99 percentage point 0.9 SLA, and we are using in this solution LRS. So, but we have to make sure to use ultra disk. So ultra disk, as you know, it's appropriate name for Microsoft. It's music new. It's for faster storage offering, and also if using ultra drivers before it's a high offering, more IOPS and low latency and other storage over inside Azure. So if you gonna work with, if you gonna compare and if you go to Azure portal now and you decided for high IOPS, so I prefer to not use. It's if you compare between premium SSD storage or Ultra Disk, I think it's better solution for Ultra Disk. So because the Ultra Disk, it's good performance connections between VM and storage and not like other storage. So we avoid its IPS. Let's go with in this solution. We are think we are gonna use LRS for LRS. It's local synchronizations replication between 3 times. So if I see here for this slide, if you have if you use LRS, so which mean you have 3 times with a single storage cluster in a single data center in the regions in the itself. So in this time, as mentioned here, it's 99 percentage point nine for SLA. If we go with another options for local redundancy, so here it's to protect against failure with redundancy within a single data center. even hardware or software. So in this time or this solution, we're gonna use availability set. See, as you see here, for availability set, we have managed disk in availability set, and will give you 99 percentage point 9495. And also we're gonna use LRS, are we explain for we have three time replication or copy, sorry, or copy for storage. So, but we have to, sorry, we have to understand what is mean for availability set. So availability set, it's a kind of local group of VMs. It's allow you to understand how your applications its redundancy and achieve for availability. And actually Microsoft, it's recommended to be at least, yeah, two or more VM are created within availability set to provide a highly available application to achieve this we mentioned for 99 percentage point 95. Also, also availability is to make use for two key concept for as you know for fault domain and update domain. It's at core and constraint for a rack. If you have each rack can be host any number of virtual machine. When you're creating high availability pairing, you want to make sure that is no single point of failure. The workload, it's provisioned by one of machine. It is other under. So if you have one VMs, it's not available. So VM will be available in the second rack. So let's go here with sorry with the slide. It's showing right now.
Yes, yes, it's
Yes,
fine.
yes, we can see.
Yeah. Okay. For the third option, as you see here, see zone redundancy. So in this case, I think if you work with a big company or big solution, you might be face this one. I actually, from my side personal, I face it a lot of times because it's it's protected for data center failures through single regions. So if you have a data center in UA and you have three actually for availability zone you have three availability zone with different network calling everything. So if you have one VM here is failing, which means it will be find here in availability zone, and actually it's recommended to use it with also zone redundancy storage. So because zone redundancy storage is synchronized replication of data three times cluster in single region. So if using in your solution, actually I use it a lot of times. It's very useful for the customer he looking to achieve for in the same region for availability and this recovery. So actually and also for ZR zone redundancy storage is to be recommended using with this one with the solution availability zone. Let's go with last one for regional redundancy. So in this time we have primary region and secondary region. So let's give example for UA North and UA Central. And you have some of VMs here and some VMs here, and we need to use Azure State Recovery. And as you know, yes, Azure State Recovery, it's the most of case we're gonna use because it's offered by Microsoft Azure as DR as a service, and it's to make sure to using ensures that the data enable to state after the failover and fill back to enable the customer to achieve his disaster recovery. So also for primary regions and for Azure State Recovery, you can using for as I mentioned with your between a data center in UA North and UA near Central, or you can use it also between on-premise to your premium primary region. So you can use it with that. And also for benefits for RTO, it's matching or it's a meet requirement for RPO and the RTO. It's very important when you design better for the disaster recovery. And also in this one, we're gonna use GRS, Geo Redundancy Storage, replication. The data it's the same region, but also to another region. First replication, three copy of data within the same region synchronously. But it's sometimes it's have drawback. It's like if disaster recovery occur in some data and there might be loss because the data replication to the other region as synchronously. So if the data center occur, there will be some delay of access until the Microsoft initiative fail over to second region. As you see here, as I mentioned, sorry, for we have LRS here, and we have three copy of your data in the same region for storage cluster. And here, if you have availability zone with big customers, availability zone 1, availability zone 3, 3, and you have three availability zones. So we have copy 1 here, and copy 2 here, and copy 3 to have three copy for your data in ZRS. So let's talk here. Just you can make like activity for architectures and how we think for availability and how we think for the customer. Here, if you need when you talk with the customer, it's very important for availability because when you work with oil gas company and he make sure you need if this data center it's failed, what time will be required to be the second data center will be available. So it's very important for us because it will be impacting for the cost. So do you need availability for 9 percentage point 9? So if no, خلاص you go single VM. So if yes, so yeah, the second question would be might be, do you want data center availability? So this one, it will be, which mean you understand you have availability zone, you have DR with storage, we'll use it because the questions or the answers the customer will coming, you will build on your architectures. So in this one, yes, or can no, I do not have a build data center. So the second question or third question, do you need ultra little 1 millisecond for network latency? Actually, no need for this one. So this one will go with availability set. So if again the question, do you need availability zone for 900 percentage? Oh, okay. So you need a high availability for data center. Yes, this no also. So if this time we'll go for BBGM for promisely placement group. So I think if someone uses promisely group, it's actually for latency for network using usually with application like it's practically when you have application and you have work with application it's a less and or sensitive workload you can work with less for network latency between all VMs. So and on also this architecture, if you gonna use it high availability center, so which mean you're gonna use it availability zone. And also, if you need with network latency, so you can use three options: promisely placement group and availability set within availability zone. You can use three options together with optimum. So here for train, it's very important slide or topic because uh, once you have plan in place, you will need to train all personnel or all employee you have. So you will increase your chance of success when you upper management introduce the plan and you promote training for all employee because when we work when you communicate with your employee and your training and you have the disaster recovery plan you have to work and to test this plan in 3 times. It's by recommended because I see a lot of for my side I see a lot of companies have plan have documented have everything but it's not tried before and he not tried test and fail over fill back and not tried anyone from this one. So it's very important for work on training for employee. What's mean for design patron for disaster recovery, and we have to work it on to encourage employee to understand what is technology and what is a lot of options we have, and also from testing. It's very important for to test your resource and feedback and fill data. Um, Actually, I'm finished. So if anyone have questions, I'm happy to answer. Let me see here.
Yes, Saad, thank you so much for coming on short notice and for your session. And you really give us very good insights and for better understanding
So
of the topic.
let me just answer for questions. It's coming by my LinkedIn for someone. He asked it for Azure Site Recovery. It's understand or understands the data. It's replicated. To answer those questions, not site recovery, it's just as a technology. It's not understand what is information or what is data to replicate it for other site. If using with on-premise or between data center, it's not you not care about the data. And already it's like have ISO for 2701, so it's not under as a tools. It's not understand the data or retrieve the data. Okay, thank you, Abdullah, and thank you for everyone who listened my sessions. And I
Yes,
hope
Saad,
everyone, if
thank
you
you.
need to
Welcome.
reach me.
Saad, one question. Uh, Hello, Saad, can you hear
Yes.
me?
Yeah, here you.
Yeah, we have next session with also with Thomas, but for you that we should need to understand. This is my question: can we need to understand that which type of data recovery, or we need to do the site recovery? Because if someone do this site recovery from on-prem Microsoft Exchange server, which is I think not recommended, what you can suggest in this case?
Again, I'm not understand these questions. Again, come again.
I mean to say for the site recovery, can we need to check that the application perspective, is it fine or not? Like in case of Exchange server on premises, if we want to make a backup of servers, so can we use Azure Site Recovery?
I think most of cases, yes, we can use asset recovery, but we have to check which applications based of you have a SQL server or you have Oracle or because some of recommendation to use it site recovery, but you have to work on the network latency because in the application side, they're very important for software engineer or software implementations for latency. We can do it the replications or we can do it the fillback and fill over and the fillback, but they're very important for latency. How to work in latency between when the second regions come back, we the customer the user experience he get it the same experience. So you have to care about which VPN use it or express route or using another solutions. For your questions, yes, we can use it, but we have to care also dependency for Azure Site Recovery for network latency perspective.
Okay. Thanks, Saad, for your time.
Thank
And
you.
we
Thank you.
also have Microsoft Exchange expert next. Thomas will check with them this question in QA session for them. Thank you so much, Thomas,
Thank you. Thank you.
Saad, and we invite our next speaker, Thomas.